Hello and welcome to today's episode, which deals with the concept and meaning of motivation. This episode will also dwell on the importance and various features of motivation. In addition, the lesson also looks at the various theories of motivation. I am Amrita Ghoshkumar, and the subject expert for today is Dr. Tarannum Amir, teaching in the Satyavati College, University of Delhi. Let us start with a broad overview of the concept of motivation. In an organization, whether big or small, the most important task of a manager is to change the behavior of his subordinates and to motivate them in order to get the work done through them. In order to achieve the organizational goals effectively and efficiently, employees must be motivated. It is true that the needs of an employee and the needs of an organization are not always the same. Here, it is the duty of the manager to integrate the organizational goals with that of the employees. Motive is an emotion, a desire, a physiological need, or similar impulse that acts as an incitement to action. Motives are invisible and directed towards the achievement of certain goals. There are many motives and they may keep on changing with the passage of time. It is the job of the manager to offer various incentives in order to satisfy the motives of his employees as well as goals of the individuals. There may be different ways to satisfy different persons. No two persons respond to the same incentives or stimulus in the same manner. Even the same person responds differently to the same motives at different points of time. The term motivation has been derived from the word motive, which means reason for the action. Whatever may be the behavior of a man, there is always some reason behind it. According to Dalton E. McFarland, motivation refers to the way in which urges, drives, aspirations, strivings, or needs direct, control, and explain the behavior of human beings. Motivation has close relationship with the behavior of human beings. It explains how and why a human behavior is caused. In the words of E.F.L. Breach, motivation is a general inspirational process which gets the members of the team to pull their weight effectively, to give their loyalty to the group, to carry out properly the tasks that they accepted, and generally to play an effective part in the job that the group has undertaken. In the words of Herzberg, motivation represents a satisfied need which creates a state of tension or disequilibrium, causing the individual to move in a goal-directed pattern towards restoring a state of equilibrium by satisfying the needs. Some of the features of motivation include: A. Motivation is a personal and internal feeling. B. Motivation is a continuous process. C. Motivation is a complex process. D. Motivation is different from satisfaction. E. Motivation is related to a goal. F. Motivation can be either positive or negative. G. A person is motivated in totality and never in part. Motivation is one of the very important functions that every manager has to perform in order to direct employees to work for the accomplishment of organizational goals. Rensis Likert has called motivation as the core of management. A manager has to use several techniques to create interest as well as to enthuse employees to work. Motivation is an effective instrument in the hands of the manager for inspiring the workforce and creating confidence in them. Some of the reasons for the importance of motivation are: A. motivation increases the efficiency of the employees. B. The rates of labor turnover and absenteeism will be low because of the job satisfaction and high morale among the employees. C. Motivation leads to harmonious relationships between employers and employees. D. The number of complaints and grievances will be low. Therefore, the above discussion reveals that motivation is a key to management in action. If the person is not properly motivated, he may feel frustrated, which will definitely affect the organizational environment. There are two bases of motivation, that is financial incentives and non-financial incentives. Financial incentives are those incentives which are given to the employees in the form of money, wages, salaries, bonus, vacation pay, and so on. These incentives are also known as pecuniary incentives. Non-financial incentives, on the other hand, are those incentives which are related with status, responsibility, job satisfaction, teamwork, competition, and so on. These incentives are not related with money. Hence, they are called non-pecuniary incentives. Financial incentives are directly or indirectly related with money. Money plays an important role in motivation. Management generally makes use of money to motivate employees in order to direct their behavior towards the organizational goals. This is because money is an essential instrument for satisfying basic needs of employees like food, clothing, shelter, and so on. The basic idea of monetary incentives is that individuals will use their potentials for better performance in order to earn more money. It also helps in satisfying the social needs of the employees. It often stands for prestige and power. Besides, it also helps to achieve minimum standards of living. But this does not mean that money will always be a motivating factor to all the people. In actual practice, the role of money as a motivator depends on various factors. For example, one of the important factors is the economic condition of the employees. No doubt, money remains to be a motivating force for many people, but the importance of money will be reduced after a certain level. People who have fulfilled their lower level needs will not get motivated by money. Apart from this, money fails to act as a motivator when the link between performance and reward is not very clear. Money can motivate only when the prospective payment is large enough in relation to a person's income. Employees will try to earn more by a higher performance if they feel that additional money is worth the effort. There is a trade-off between extra effort and leisure, and hence the reward should be adequate enough. From the above discussion, it can be said that money is not the only motivator and it is not always the motivator. Financial incentives can be used only to motivate those employees whose physiological needs and safety needs are not satisfied. Every individual has different needs which they wish to satisfy while working in the organization. Executive people or people at higher levels cannot be only satisfied with money. In order to satisfy their needs, they want more incentives like job enlargement, recognition, status, and so on. Thus, management, in addition to the financial incentives, must also provide non-financial incentives to their employees in order to motivate them. As we have discussed, money ceases to be a motivating factor when the physiological and security needs of the employees are satisfied. Employees do not always run after money. They have other needs also. They want to satisfy their other needs too, like their egoistic needs, which are related with their status, self-development, recognition, etc. Thus, management must also make use of non-financial incentives to motivate their employees. Some of the important non-financial incentives are: 1. Status and recognition. Status means the ranking or position, rights and duties in the organization. Recognition, on the other hand, means acknowledgement as well as appreciation of good performance. The status system and recognition incentives are therefore important instruments to motivate employees, because these incentives satisfy their egoistic needs. Second, responsibility. In order to show their best, most people prefer challenging and responsible jobs rather than monotonous and routine jobs. Responsibility satisfies the natural and an inherent desire of the employee. Job security. Employees want their job to be secure. They want stability in their jobs. It is an important instrument, especially in a developing country like India, where unemployment is widely spread. Fourth, promotion. It means a change from one job to another that is better in terms of status and responsibilities. Fifth, opportunities for growth. Opportunity for growth is another kind of non-financial incentive, which helps the management to motivate their employees. There are two main approaches of motivation. One, the carrot and stick approach to motivation. This approach is based on the old belief that the best way to get work done from the employees is to put a reward before him or to give him the threat of punishment. Here, a carrot is the reward for working and achieving organizational goals, and the threat of punishment is the stick for not working. This style of management emphasizes authority and economic rewards. Second, job enrichment. It is a non-financial technique of motivation. Job enrichment is concerned with designing jobs that include a greater variety of work content requiring a higher level of knowledge and skill, giving workers more autonomy and responsibility in terms of planning, directing and controlling their own performance, and providing them with the opportunity for personal growth and a meaningful work experience. Some of the important theories of motivation are the Maslow's need hierarchy theory by Abraham H. Maslow. He developed a general theory of motivation which is known as the need hierarchy theory because it was arranged in a particular order from the lower to the higher. This need hierarchy is divided into 5 categories. 1. Physiological needs. This is the first and the basic need of every human being, which is required to preserve human life. These needs are also known as biological needs. These needs include a need for clothing, food, shelter, and so on. This need is at the top of the hierarchy and must be satisfied first of all, as these needs are powerful motivating force when thwarted. These needs relate to the survival and maintenance of human life. Second, safety needs. Once the physiological needs are satisfied, the second need is protection from physical dangers and economic security. Safety needs are thus concerned with the protection from danger, deprivation, and threat. Third, social needs. After the first 2 needs are satisfied, social needs take place and becomes important in the life of human beings. In order to satisfy his social needs, man is interested in conversation, sociability, exchange of feelings, companionship, and so on. Such needs are infinite and they are considered as secondary needs because they are not essential to preserving human life. Fourth, esteem needs. These needs are concerned with self-respect, self-confidence, a feeling of personal worth, recognition, competence, repetition, status, achievement, and so on. They are also known as egoistic needs. Fifth, self-actualization needs. Self-actualization needs the need to maximize one's full potential. This is related with the development of intrinsic capabilities which lead people towards continued self-development. It is the desire of becoming what one is capable of becoming. It is an infinite and growth need. Maslow proposed that needs have a definite sequence of domination. Also, the second need does not dominate until the first need is reasonably satisfied, and the third need does not dominate until first and the second needs are reasonably satisfied, and so on. On the other hand, man is a wanting animal. He continues to want one thing or the other, and this process continues from his birth to his death. As soon as one need is satisfied, another emerges. Human needs form a particular hierarchy. Physiological needs, which are basic needs, and self-actualization needs are at the very top. Other needs, that is safety, social and esteem needs, are positioned in between. According to Maslow, lower level needs must at least partially be satisfied before higher level needs emerge. Maslow's need hierarchy theory is applicable only to a lower level worker whose basic need is not reasonably satisfied. It is true that people can be motivated only when their needs are not satisfied. It also postulates that as lower level needs are fulfilled, upper level needs emerges. No doubt, this theory has gained extensive popularity because of its simplicity and logical reasoning. But at the same time, it has been criticized on the following grounds. 1. Needs are not the only determinant of human behavior. In practice, behavior is influenced by needs, expectations, perception, cultural background of people, and so on. Second, there are certain persons for whom self-esteem needs are more important than social needs. Thus, the sequence suggested by Maslow may go wrong because every individual may have a different need hierarchy. Third, it is also wrong to presume that only one need is satisfied at one time. Man's behavior at any time is mostly guided by a multiplicity of motives. Fourth, there is no definite evidence that once a need is satisfied, it loses its motivating force. It is also doubtful that satisfaction of one need automatically activates the next need in hierarchy. Herzberg conducted research with his associates, carrying out the interview of 200 engineers and accountants of companies in Pittsburgh. Herzberg concluded that there are two sets of factors that provide satisfaction or dissatisfaction to the employees. These two sets are categorized as hygiene factors or maintenance factors and motivators. Hygiene factors are those factors which provide no motivation to the employees, but absence of these factors dissatisfies the employees. These factors include company policy and administration, supervision, salary structure, job security, working conditions, status, interpersonal relations with supervisors, interpersonal relations with peers, interpersonal relations with subordinates, and personal life. Motivational factors are those factors which provide strong motivation and high job satisfaction among the employees. These factors include achievement, recognition, advancement, the work itself, possibility of growth, and responsibility. These factors are related to the job itself or to the job content. These factors are necessary to increase the productivity of the employees. This theory has been criticized on a few grounds. Despite the above limitations, the theory is used widely in the area of management. Herzberg has concluded that one cannot achieve higher performance only by improving wages and working conditions. This conclusion has improved the basic understanding of managers who go on improving wages and other benefits with the hope of improving efficiency of their subordinates. Secondly, this theory is simple to understand and based on empirical data. It helps the manager in understanding the behavior of the employees and to improve their performance. MacGregor, a well-known psychologist, has propounded two contrasting theories of human behavior, which is known as Theory X and Theory Y. These theories contain two pairs of assumptions about human beings. One, the average human being is basically lazy and has an inherent dislike of work. He will avoid work if he can. Secondly, the average human being lacks ambition. They are not interested in achievement. They prefer to be directed by managers to work. Number three, most people have little capacity to solve organizational problems because of a lack of innovation and creativeness. Number four, most people have to be closely controlled and often threatened to achieve organizational goals because they are indifferent to organizational goals. They work only to satisfy their own personal needs. Fifth, most people do not take an initiative to work. These negative assumptions are traditional, which believes that workers can be motivated only by rigid control, close supervision, one-way communication, and autocratic style of leadership. Theory X suggests that threat and punishment are the only ways to handle or motivate the people. However, this theory is applicable if workers are unskilled with no potential to work. Theory Y contains positive assumptions about the human nature. It is an opposite theory to that of Theory X. It holds an optimistic view about the human nature. This theory assumes that people would like to work if they are properly motivated. According to this theory, people want to maximize their own goals as well as organizational goals. The assumptions of Theory Y are as follows. 1. Workers are not lazy by nature. Workers have the potential for development and readiness to work because work is as natural as play. 2. Most of the people are self-directed and self-controlled to work. Threats of punishments and control are not the only ways to motivate people. Third, most people are ambitious. They not only accept but also seek responsibility from their managers. Fourth, most people are not resistant to change. They have the capacity to use their imagination and creativity for solving the organizational problems in a turbulent and dynamic environment. Number 5, most people like to initiate work on their own. They integrate their personal goals with the organizational goals. Theory Y is applicable if workers are skilled and have the potential for development and growth. This theory represents the modern and dynamic nature of human beings. This theory believes in a two-way communication, decentralization of authority, and participative leadership in which workers participate and have a say in decision making. Theory X and Theory Y is simple and logical in understanding the human nature. Once the manager understands the behavior of human beings, he can easily select the way through which his workers can be motivated. Both theories have certain assumptions about human nature, but in reality, neither of the two pairs of assumptions about human nature is found. No individual can totally fit into either Theory X or Theory Y. Neither of the two theories is fully applicable to all the situations and to all types of human beings. However, Theory X is more applicable to unskilled workers and Theory Y is applicable to skilled employees. Thus, management should use these theories according to the situation and according to the type of employees. In short, these theories are only tools of understanding the human behavior and in designing incentive schemes to motivate the employees. Another theory of management, that is Theory Z, has been propounded by William Auchi. This theory has been made after a comparative study of Japanese and American styles of management. Therefore, it is said that this theory contains the features of both Japanese and American styles of management. The main features of this theory are lifetime employment. According to this feature, organization has the responsibility to give lifetime employment to their employees. However, in return, Japanese employees also tend to make a lifetime commitment to their organization. Mutual trust. This is one of the most important features of Theory Z because success and survival of an organization depends upon mutual trust between employers and employees, between employees and their peer groups, and between union and management, and so on. Strong bond between organizations and employees. There should be a strong bond between an enterprise and their employees. Employees' involvement. In order to have employees' commitment and for better performance, it is necessary that employees must be given a chance to participate in decision making. Informal organization. Another feature of Theory Z is that organization structure must be controlled informally. In Theory Z, there is no place for formal structure. Human resource development. Every employee has potential. Managers must recognize the employee's potential and must develop the new skills existing in them. This can be done through proper learning and training programs. Coordination. Cooperation and coordination among employees are necessary for smooth functioning of an organization. Emphasis on group. Theory Z emphasizes on group rather than individuals. Concern for employees. There is a concern for employees rather than on the system. So that is all for today. Hope you have understood the fundamentals of motivation. We'll see you again with another topic on management. Till then, take care and bye-bye.